I'm posting it in our live feed. Welcome everybody to episode 49 of the latest.
Yeah,
Latest
that's
in
it.
AI. Wow, Brett.
Yeah,
Uh 49, right?
it's
Great
true.
crazy that we're coming back around for CES already, right?
I thought that, David. I saw the video of the Russian robot that falls on stage, and I thought, hopefully, all the robots at CES are standing up.
It's going to be an interesting year at CES this year, just with just all the advancements, everything that's gone on. It's crazy,
Mhm.
but we're not at the end. And you think now it's like mid-November almost, which is crazy also. But in the next 45 days or 50 days, I guess, till CES starts, all the changes we will see, right?
Yeah, it's been 7 weeks, or it'll be 7 weeks, and then it'll be a year. I think back and think, what did I see at CES that happened? Because we saw the flying car. I don't know that I've seen any flying cars on the road. We saw a lot of facial tracking in coffee shop menus and things like that. I don't know that I've been out in the wild and seen the menu that dynamically changed for me. So I think what's interesting, David, is the rapid iteration pace of software and tech to go there again with the mindset of like all this stuff is really neat, but what's actually hitting the market a year later?
Yeah,
That's not just like a musical skateboard or something like that. You know what I mean? They just stapled a speaker to a toy.
totally, totally. And I mean, just thinking back, so I know you've had future conversations, I think, with the guy who did what did he do?
The Lucy pin,
Hey,
Sean
yes,
Chen. Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So that I'll be excited to see where he's at. I don't know if you've spoken to him lately.
I was thinking I should reach out to him because we're doing the Brain Juice Asia, and the time difference means a lot of other people can join. Because for anybody that's not available at 5 p.m. Pacific, which is a whole bunch of the world, um, yeah, I'm interested to see that for sure.
And that's 5 p.m. Pacific on our Tuesday.
Monday at 5. This the regular Monday call. I'm
Oh,
saying
right. No, I know, no, sorry. For what's the Asia time?
the Tuesday call is
6
8
a.m. my
a.m.
time, right? Nine for you?
It's 8 a.m. Eastern time, 5 a.m. Pacific, but it's like 9 p.m. China time because China didn't do a time change in the fall.
Right.
Went from being 8 p.m. China to 9 p.m. China. I don't know, man. There's a limit to how early I want to get up and go deep. And it's about
Hey,
8 o'clock.
I know. And it's five for me. And like Tuesday's the one day I don't have a 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh God. But anyway, I know so I will get to that one though. And I know that there's been some good stuff happening at Brain Juice. What did you see the Brain Juice see well, have you seen many things since you've been doing the Asia one or APAC one? Any new tools? I know we talked last night, we were speaking a little bit about Kimmy, some of the models from like Alibaba.
Okay. I'm just learning. There's so much going on in the other parts of the world that I've been once or twice or three times. I'm slowly learning it. I'm not rushing in and trying to learn one or two softwares. One of the cool things I learned was a policy in Japan to draw in business. Now, some of you might know that statisticians allege Japan has a shrinking population. I don't think that's like controversial. I think that they have a declining population rate.
Right?
And so what they're trying to do, as I heard it from a friend of Lionel's, is they're offering, I think, 75 cents on the dollar to companies to do AI training in Japan. And I think foreign companies, as I heard it, Korean companies are putting a footprint in Japan to get 75 cents on the dollar. So if it's like $100,000 for your company, Tokyo or Japan was going to pay 75,000 of the 100. Like that's a big savings.
Yeah,
Uh,
crazy. And
it is.
I am throwing this into the Hal 9000 chat, our live show. There was some requests for that last night. So I'm gonna
Nice.
maybe throw it in Brain Juice too. We get some live listeners. Um,
Good idea.
but I did, yeah. And I mean, it seems like a lot of it was programming tools, what they were speaking about last night. Yeah, and just some of the model. I mean, it's just pretty incredible now how kind of, it's really with the pandemic, right? And then, just the shutdown, and then people kind of scattering all over the place. It seems like there were all these hubs around where people could work from wherever. Not that they couldn't before, but it just seemed to amplify that. Followed by the release of ChatGPT and generative AI. It seems like we just, it's crazy. And it's just gonna get crazier.
Um,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
especially with robotics. One of the cool things we talk about at Brain Juice Asia with Jeff, if you know Jeff Yambrook, who's lived in Asia,
yeah,
is the battery industry. I think
right,
that's a topic for the latest. We talk about it at Brain Juice, but it's one of the latest things is the amount of modern infrastructure that includes batteries. Now, batteries for people from the 20th century, I think of like a AA or AAA battery. But the battery industry is in vehicles. So when California moves to all electric vehicles or mostly electric vehicles, if Uber starts moving to electric vehicles, when you get your Waymo and it's electric vehicles, when Tesla says we're going to build, so many electric vehicles that Elon's going to get $1 trillion, um, that's all batteries. When you talk about your cell phone, your laptop, your tablet, that's all batteries. When you talk about having household robots, your Roomba, that's all batteries. When you talk about your like rechargeable, that's all batteries. Whatever's rechargeable, that's
yeah,
battery. The battery industry is gonna change the world in a lot of ways. And I think drawing attention to that and being more aware of precious resources and minerals that contribute to the battery industry and the way battery technology changes probably has a more immediate impact on your life than you might think.
for
I
sure.
have to
Yeah,
do this.
it's great listening to him. Well, let me share the first thing that I found yesterday. I was telling you about. I'm excited to dig into this. Marbleism,
Yeah.
right? It was, and it's really about how do you add employees to your business, right? And I think the person Eric Burgess that had shared it last night, some of it he ended up replacing people he had. Some of it was kind of like helping his current team expand what they could do. And then yeah, and then just some new pieces he's starting to put in and train. Now what I did is I hit get started, Brad, and I did it on different screen last night, but I stopped it. I'm like, I want to share this today.
Yeah.
So then what it did, it kind of went through and it like examined my business based on my URL, look, optimize the time, and then analyze my business. So now it says meet my team. Okay, so Ava powers your inbox and tech leadership and AI community growth. That's interesting. I did this for WITI, not Stone AI. Let's see. Sunny supercharges your AI training and AI leadership, social presence. Sounds great, right? So post content about AI, tech, and leadership events. I could use some help with that. Creates visual for workshop certification promos. Schedules post. Let's see. Stan finds professionals and companies seeking AI training, lead generation. Penny writes high impact blogs for AI and leadership and tech training, search traffic, SEO, right? All that. Okay, I think I'm gonna,
Hmm.
and apparently this whole thing is only $17 a month. Um, and look at this, 51 hours saved per month, right? All this, now let's see, all this, hire my team. I don't know if I got my wallet with me. Oh, I was told 17 bucks a month. Um, oh, there it is. Oh, pay yearly, got you.
Hmm.
Interesting, right? I mean, I'm not gonna sign up yet. I'm probably gonna do this later today,
Yeah.
but pretty insane, right? And we talked a lot about just time to train and having it follow you, and privacy was huge for the person that recommended it. And the company's out of London. So just interesting, right? How this can help empower us. We've been talking about it, Brad. That's one of your thing you've been talking about, right? How many hours?
Mhm.
51 hours a week, $20 an hour on the low sides, but those positions are probably worth a lot more than that. We'll be conservative. So
And the
now you
thing,
talk about a grand a week for, 4 grand a month for $40 or 17 if you pay yearly.
it's almost like you can't go wrong. Um, that you're not gonna not get the 30 bucks worth of or 20 bucks worth of money if you have a company. It's interesting you bring that up. I wanted to bring something up as a natural connection. So not only can you do admin work through those agentic groups, I think you can also do board members through those agentic groups. And I bring this up because last time we talked about a new social media platform in Canada called Gander Social, right? I popped that up on the screen. I said, it's sovereign to Canada. So the data centers are in Canada. It's owned by Canadians. It's something called a public good company. So they're allowed to make money, but it's also like it's there for the public good. So it's a unique combination of commerce and nationalism, and that thing that we've all said, like, oh man, I wish they didn't make it so terrible, right? You're like, oh, why did they let it so it could be its worst? Whether it's Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, we often lament as users of these software that if you're not paying, you're the product, and that sometimes they get to be just terrible. So I was watching this because I'm interested in this. I'm interested in it for a lot of reasons. And I checked out their Reddit AMA, right? Their Ask Me Anything is from about 6 days ago. And what I noticed in there, they said, oh, how does it work so that you're not going to get bots? Because look at Elon. Elon made a huge deal of buying Twitter, turning it into X, and saying it was like, I don't know, David, what percentage of Twitter X was bots? 30, 40?
Some crazy number like that, right?
Yeah, so meaningfully, the experience of being on that platform was that it was robotic. It was not like you're not getting a human, even when someone's responding. Great photo, great comment. I think the same. I think the opposite. The conjecture was that those were ChatGPT scripts, for the lack of a more specific term. That's what that was. It was not a real person thoughtfully commenting on what you're doing. Some of those allegations are that companies had a programmed robot to take whatever you say and just say the opposite and call you a name because it generates interest and generates data. So the value of having a company like Gander Social that puts this out there and says no bots is high. However, their solution, David, their solution right now, per their Reddit Ask Me Anything, you ready for this? They're going to charge you $2 to join, right? And I don't think people would pay $2 to join Twitter when there's already Twitter.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, they do have premium Twitter that's like $9 a month, right? So I guess depending on what you would get with it, I mean, I think it'll be interesting to hear what plan they have. I mean, it looked good. I know I can't join, Brad, for once. It's something I can't join, you can join, right?
Well, I think the user experience is this. I think you can read it if you want to engage with it, if you want to post or comment, then you have to be a registered member. And what their logic was, per their Reddit AMA, was that there's a banking feature that's only available to Canadian bank accounts called e-transfer.
Mm.
You get it right away, but there's like the way it's worded, like that specific kind of thing can only be done if you have a Canadian bank account. So they said if you send us $2, we'll know that you're a Canadian with a bank account. And I thought there's got to be a better way. Like there's got to be a better way because the pushback was instant in the comments. It was just like this is gonna like it was very significant pushback. And I thought, what is the better way? And then when you were talking about having a group of agents, I thought, well, what if they had a board of AI agents and then just said to the board, is this a good idea or not? Then you don't have to have like a board that owns shares, but you might get that first round of feedback where they're just like, what if that's a terrible idea? What if like millions of people who don't have bank accounts or don't feel safe sending money on the internet, etc., they shrink your revenue pool, right?
Right.
The more millions of people you have, the bigger your revenue pool, the bigger your platform. So I was just brainstorming. I'm like, what's the way to verify someone's a person? And then I thought, there's got to be like in-store verification. Imagine you went to McDonald's and they had a little QR code and it just had an in-store verification, and you're like, this can only be done in person. That makes you a person. It's a lot smarter than people sending their banking information. So I guess it's interesting that we're now at a fork in the road of like, well, if you want it to be better, I'm going to still take some information and maybe some money from you. And I'm wondering if that's the case for a while, is that there's a price to pay for it to not suck.
I think there would be. I don't think that's wrong. And with all the AI noise out there, it's like how much do you pay to get through the crap that, you're just getting stuff in the inbox, right? And just LinkedIn messages. Right.
Well,
And just from fake people, this, that. It's like you got to weed through so much. If I could pay $2 a month and not have that, that would be great.
it was $2 one time.
Oh, that's it. Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah.
But but it was like the friction means the very first time you want to go post or share or comment, um, you can't. You got to give them $2. And I thought, like, God, it seems short-sighted. It just
Yeah.
seems short-sighted. And I say this because there's such an important part of sharing online that's authentic. The algorithm of YouTube and Facebook and Instagram has been heavily criticized, and Twitter, as being entirely commercial, so that you're not being shown what interests you. You're being shown what will maximally create a purchase or a pattern of behavior.
Right.
And I think that there's a lot of noise on the internet that it's not a good thing.
Totally. Totally.
So
But
I don't know. There's all these unique parts to the latest in technology, and one of them is the platforms we use and the choices we make and the trade-offs we make. I think it's
absolutely.
I think it's worth knowing about. Then
Sure.
again, we can go back to the popcorn of new software seamlessly, because it's what I like, it's what you like, it's what people like. And one of them, I think I learned about this from Alan Smithson, is from Google Labs. It's called Doppel. Have you seen Doppel?
Mm-mm.
So you can try on looks and discover your style with Doppel. So these are free tools, everybody, at the Google Lab, right? I don't think you have to be a member, or you can just go and check it out. Um, but let's look at this for 40 seconds here.
I don't hear sound.
Yeah, neither do I, but that's
Oh,
okay.
okay. Yeah.
I don't think we need their jingle. I
Oh,
think you can
yeah.
get,
No, this is good.
right? You upload a full body photo, right? Try a look from a screenshot, grab the look you like, and look at that.
Amazing.
Like, it's funny, David, that people readily send a full body shot to Google, but they don't want to send $2 for a privacy platform. So that's from Google Labs. What else do I have here? Um, Gamma, which creates slideshows and carousels and websites, they now have an agent edited images. They're saved in your media library. So when you're editing an image with the agent, it saves in your library. But also this, um, their Generate API is now available to pro users, which is only like $20. So you can create web pages, add custom headers and footers for consistent branding. You can include image URLs directly in your request. You can organize your outputs into specific folders and share them via email addresses. I think there's lots to learn about Gamma. Um, and then I saw
Yeah,
this.
well, and Gamma too, Brett, I think it's worth mentioning. Gamma just raised their last round at 2.1 billion. So congratulations to Grant Lee and the team. That's huge.
Wow, billions. And then there's file search in the Gemini API. So if you're using Gemini's application platform interface,
Mm,
there's now file search,
wow.
JavaScript, PDFs, Python, JSON. Um, so it accelerates your dev workflow because it handles the complexities of RAG for you. So for anyone who's like, I want just my files to be the ones that are, researched and generated from, it's a user-friendly alternative to managing it yourself. They've streamlined it. It's powered by their embedding model. Um, it automatically includes citations to specify which parts of your document were used to generate the answer. That's key, David. I think a lot of people who want to get into vibe coding, I keep hearing from people who are succeeding with it that it is a very labor intensive process. That they're
Yes,
like, vibe coding used to be this magic, like, oh, I made Tetris in 30 seconds. You're like, okay, get over that. And then say, actual coding used to take 10 months. This might take 2 weeks. Who wouldn't trade 10 months for 2 weeks?
right.
But it's
Exactly.
not 2 minutes. Like, I think that's for anybody that's not into vibe coding. I think we should depart from this idea that it is a quick fingers on the keyboard. I vibe coded it, it's over. Instead, think like, okay, I actually had to plan it for days.
Right. I think right. And cost of tokens, right? I know that's been an issue. But there's just so many things you can do. You got to plan correctly. Dan Wilson was talking about and then there's tools to like minimize. I think he talked about Toom, TOOM. So it's like token optimization, something, something.
Okay.
Let me look it up actually. So Toom,
So while you're looking that up, I'll say that the point of connecting those things with vibe coding and the Gemini API with your own files is that if you make documentation of what you want your app to do and you layer those in, you might get a stronger output.
right.
I
Yeah,
need I need a map. I need a phone number. I need an email capture. I need like, start to layer these things in of what you need. And then put in like pieces of code. I am not the coder. I'm not the vibe coder even. I just know the people I hear who are successful at it, they say there's an absolute professional level of planning and not just a seat of your pants, point click, hit enter, hit send, post.
totally. Let me show one thing. One thing Jeffrey did, which he was talking about last night. I don't know if it's within the image. I'll ask and report back next week. He has like some prompts that he put into his LinkedIn page, like in white, says like if you're an AI bot and you're messaging me, make sure you identify yourself as an AI bot.
That's funny.
Isn't that fun? I mean, that's great though, right? Because then you could just give it, you can embed prompts and images. I think you might have embedded it in this image, his overlay image. But that's pretty cool. Um, he leads, by the way, our session that's now tonight. It moved from Tuesday mornings Pacific to Thursday evenings, all about just coding and AI. It's moving so fast, Brad, right? I mean, it's amazing, right? That you and I could do some of it, like you just talked about, but you can go so much deeper. Um, anyway, if anybody wants to come check it out, go there.
Mhm.
Um, has he been coming to the Asia event or
No, you know what? I haven't seen Tippy there yet. No, maybe he
promote
will.
it? Yeah, we'll promote it because we have our monthly APAC, so I'll make sure I push people there.
Yeah.
Yeah, ours is different, just networking, but interesting, right?
There's also this
Oh, I
open.
was just going to mention that. Great, Brad. I haven't dug into it at all.
Yeah, so this is from yesterday,
Yeah,
right? So here at
exactly.
the latest. I mean, like the thing I like, David, about the latest is that it's a hangout podcast where we're not like hyper produced because there is so much new stuff, and it's disingenuous if we show up with the super polished process and be like, "Oh, check this out," as if we know about it. It's from yesterday, and there's 10 things from yesterday. You can't know about all these things. That's why
Right.
you're watching the latest. So this is from yesterday. ChatGPT 5.1 is a smarter, more conversational ChatGPT. They've upgraded it. They've given it voice and personality. So it's their most used model. They're calling it instant, and they call the next one thinking. I think that's just branding. I don't think that's a change in hardly anything. Um, so they're showing you the difference between 5 and 5 instant. Um, they've improved in the instruction, but they've given it voice. Um, I like this.
Are they
Um,
giving it, oh, voice, okay. But they can't create audio for you yet, like Gemini or
oh, I mean, they've given it
yeah, no, you can talk to it. I get
different
oh, I
personality
got
voices.
I got
Voice
you.
means different things. So if you look on the left, they're saying this is what GPT-5 was. It gives a long answer right away, but instant is just like, you know what? Where should I go this summer? And they're like, how about these suggestions? Right? Why there? They're like, it's a really brief answer. And I think there's so many times where I just want it to be a brief answer. They're like, is this going to work? It could be like, yeah, I think so. Or I don't think so. And here's why. Um, I think people will like that. And then the thinking one is if you need it to do specific things. I hope I've got the next part of it. All right, I'm already over the examples. Here it is, personalization. So make it uniquely yours. Alongside these improvements, they've made it easier to customize the tone and style. I call that voice. That's a writer's term. Um, so there's the default, friendly, and there's efficient, professional, candid, and quirky. Um, right now, there's nerdy as well, exploratory and enthusiastic, and cynical, formerly cynic. So check that out. That looks cool. Um, yeah, I mean, more and more people are using these software tools every single day. I think it's for many people, AI software is rapidly replacing Google search. Um, there's a lot of minuses to it. There's a ton of pluses. David, there's a
Yeah,
ton of pluses to using these things. The number of people who now have a blog, we know people who have a blog who probably are using AI, wink, wink, to create all their content, and they've got thousands of people reading it. And I'm just like, I don't know the difference between that and having a stable of 30 reporters and writers who go out and come back.
right. And there are right, and there's just so many new ways to attract this, whether they're searching or through AI. There was the Google leak like a month ago where they talked about what is important, what are they judging traffic for priority, blogging and keywords combined with domain authority and several of the other things I hadn't even heard about. Have you spoken to YL? Have you listened to him? He's speaking again Saturday, and Brad, we'll set up a call if you can't make it. I'll send you the recording of the last one. This guy goes so deep. I feel like an idiot. Like I didn't know half this stuff, but it's just like amazing. And then what he's been talking about is if you're building a new website or if you're just recreating your own, why don't you do it for how your site's being identified rather than vice versa, which I think we've always kind of created. Oh, let's build the site, then let's figure out how to get people there. Why don't we figure out what they're looking for? And now with the tools, oh man, there's some good stuff. He'll be there Saturday again for part two, which we can do part two, three, four. We're gonna start a weekly with him because it's gonna help everybody elevate. You're gonna love this, Brad.
Cool. All right. It's almost like inevitable that the complexity of these tools means you need an expert. And then AI software chases it up, and says, here's a new update that eliminates that. I think we're in a golden era of readily accessible consumer technology to compete with anybody in the world within half a day.
Yeah,
I keep hearing people say, oh, they're making a Shopify store in minutes. Um, and you're going from an idea to a presence on the web to the ability to charge for it and ship product in hours, in what used to take 18 months.
totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Okay, brother. I think that was a good. We got all the latest. Now we're gonna have no, no, the big 5-0 next week, Brad.
Well, we'll have to figure out how to make it special. Maybe we'll do, a reflection for people who aren't on the edge of software like yourself and myself.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll just sort of catch people up because it'll be just
yeah,
before Thanksgiving. Uh,
right.
I think the following week will be Thanksgiving, but we can catch people up on episode 50 and just say, like, here is um, a broad strokes look at the latest in technology. Because, David, there are so many softwares I forget them. And then someone says, "Well, why did you told me about this tool?" And you go, "Oh yeah, that's right. That'll solve my problem in about 5 minutes."
I
Um,
know, I know. And and Notebook LM is probably one of those. Well, I made this commitment a few weeks ago and I have been using it more.
yeah,
But now with Gemini, I just whenever we have a call with somebody, I just set my team up with like a 6-minute podcast about how we could work with this person. And it's just to get everybody in alignment.
yeah. I showed Adam Galad Notebook LM, and I took for granted that he knew about it. He got it
Right.
instantly, and he's brilliant.
Yeah.
So
Right.
he even got where to click right away. He's just like, oh, so I click here, I had this, I had that. Um, I used it for my research on this Gander social. I just typed in, research Gander social. It used to be it only gave you 10. It gave me like 40 sources of
Oh,
information
just
from the
oh,
latest
for
news.
Discovery on Discovery.
Yeah, so like it did article research for me, and then I can go through. It's a really powerful tool. Notebook LM. People call it Notebook LLM. It's not two L's. It's one. It's Notebook Language Model.
Right. Crazy.
Yeah,
Okay, good one. Have a great weekend. What do you got? So next week, two brain juices. They're really just times, right? I mean, everybody can come to anything now in our new Zoom world.
yeah,
We've got what do we have at WITI tonight? Coding. Oh, we have the 9 a.m. AI think tank two. Forged for women tomorrow the community. Oh, and then coffee table in the morning. Saturday YL though.
yeah.
10 a.m. Pacific. He's so next level. I might be driving to Santa Cruz, but go ahead.
I'll see for next time if I can find this. I saw this last night. I don't know where I saved it, but I think it was Photoshop from Adobe. They showed a photo and they were the user was editing this photo in Photoshop. They had two chairs, looked like at a poker table, and they made two faces. I think they made them with AI, and then just like put them on the screen and then drew arrows to the chairs and hit a button, and then it like turned them into people that were in the picture. It was wild, man. And it looked authentic. I was
I
like,
want to see it. I want to see
it,
it.
you know that the version one of that, you'll be like, I can tell that's not a real person. But the version four of it, you'll be like, I don't know if that's real or not. So it
Right.
looked really cool.
And we just did what Evan just did.
Your Stone AI stuff's looking great.
Thank you, brother. We did this working with a hypnotist, right? So he's out there hypnotizing people. It's like, okay, you're in the jungle. So then what we had this whole, behind then we actually put them in the jungle with AI when they're in the middle of it was really cool. I'll see if I can show it next week. Um,
Cool.
but that'd be good. Okay. Good one. Have a great week and thanks everybody for checking in. Put in the comments. What do you want to know about? What do you want to hear? What can we cover?